Moon looked out into the locked room. Quite a few hours had passed since placing Ruin Eclipse into that locked room. The same one Moon had used in the past for interrogations. This time, however, it was much more than an interrogation. It was careful observation. Moon recognized that cameras alone wouldn't do much. They clearly didn't do much before. So he had been keeping watch every second from the connecting room. Keeping Ruin Eclipse away from the Pizzaplex was also a security measure against what Ruin had done to the yet-to-be-renamed Eclipse. Ruin would have a harder time calling him or making any contact with him this way. Moon pressed the button connecting to the speakers in the locked room.
"How are you doing in there, Ruin?" "Sorry, Eclipse."
That was going to take some getting used to.
"Do you need anything?"
Ruin Eclipse looked up shortly after the speakers were activated.
"Oh, no, I'm all right for the moment. Thank you, though, Moon." "All right. Remember, even though you can't always hear me, I can always hear you. So speak up if you do need something at any point, okay?"
Ruin Eclipse gave a nod.
"Yes, I certainly will. Thank you."
He then resumed idly tapping the table in front of him with his pointer finger.
"I figured this is where you'd be."
Moon turned.
"And how did you find this place so quickly?"
The other animatronic scoffed and rolled his eyes.
"Please, there was no way you were keeping him anywhere in the Pizzaplex. There aren't that many facilities of this kind in the nearby area."
Moon crossed his arms.
"You do realize part of the reason for keeping him here was to keep Ruin away from you, right?" "Yeah, I know. But I've decided on a name. I figured I should make it known right away to end any potential confusion sooner." "Oh!"
Moon's eyes widened slightly.
"Okay, I'll turn the speakers on so..."
Moon closed his eyes, trying to keep everything straight.
"Eclipse can also hear what name you've chosen."
Moon pressed the button for the speakers.
"Hey, Eclipse, he's picked out a new name."
Ruin Eclipse lifted his head again, more urgently this time.
"Oh? Well, tell me, what's your name going to be?"
The animatronic in question narrowed his eyes, knowing he couldn't be seen from the other side of the glass. He kept his voice steady, hiding the anger bubbling inside him.
"Titan."
Ruin Eclipse brought his hands together gently into a small clap.
"Titan! That's a wonderful name for you." "Yeah."
Titan brought his face closer to Moon and hissed.
"Shut the speakers off." "What? Just do it."
Moon shut off the speakers in the other room.
"What? What's up?"
Titan hadn't once turned his eyes away from the imprisoned animatronic.
"Don't take your eyes off of him for a second." "I haven't. Why? I can't say why. Is that enough of a hint for you, Moon?"
Obvious confusion showed in Moon's gaze.
"Just what makes you think that's Ruin right now? I've been watching him this entire time, and he hasn't done anything but sit silently at that table. I've observed Ruin before. He can't sit still for 5 seconds. It's been hours now."
Titan strained as he tried to find a way he was physically allowed to answer.
"What makes you think the game wouldn't go on just because you..."
His eyes darted as he desperately tried to dance around any direct mention of Ruin. Nothing came to him.
"My point is, even back then, what makes you think he wasn't just playing up the insanity? He always had a lot more brains than he let on. That's something I know. So,
Moon now cast his own narrowed eyes on Titan.
it seems like you actually were spending time around him. It wasn't just because of whatever he put in you. Well, when someone puts a chip in your head that prevents you from hurting people, you sometimes get a bit too angry to think about the consequences of an alliance until it's too late. We'll talk more about this later when I'm checking your systems. For now...
He turned his attention back to Ruin, who was still just sitting and running a finger in short lines on the table.
Just tell me how you know. Clearly you know of some difference between them that I haven't caught. Just watch and listen. The sound might be the same, but the tone is very different. You're smart enough to pick up on it eventually.
He then turned to leave.
Seeing as Eclipse wasn't here right now, I'll just have to come back later.
Titan left without another word. Moon continued watching the animatronic behind the glass run his pointer finger along the same small imaginary line on the table. Then he looked up again.
Moon, is Titan still there? No, he just left. Oh, that's a shame. I was so hoping to speak with him more.
Moon almost thought he might have been starting to pick up on what Titan meant about the tone. There was some hint of playfulness in the otherwise sad delivery. As much as Moon wanted to call Ruin out on his act, he decided it would be best to play along with the game longer. He needed to have the same immediate ability to detect the tone difference that Titan seemed to have.
It seems like he didn't have much he wanted to say to you.
Ruin's eyes flashed, but he continued looking down.
Oh, I see. He doesn't trust me anymore. I can't say I blame him after what he learned. I don't know that that's the reason. I think he just wanted to let us know about his new name as soon as possible. He might also just need a bit of space right now. Right. That's probably it. Thank you, Moon.
Moon wouldn't have noticed if he hadn't been paying extra close attention now, but he could now see that the line Ruin kept tracing was gradually getting longer, as if Ruin was imagining scratching something, or someone, with rising aggression. Uh-oh. Moon might have said too much. Moon spoke softly to himself.
Don't like that your pet stopped listening to you, huh? I'm going to figure out what you did, and then I'm going to find a way to get rid of you for good.
Nothing else happened for some time. However, after a few more hours, Ruin seemed to just stare off, motionless. Then, he slowly started to blink as he placed a hand to his head. Moon quickly took to the speakers.
Eclipse, talk to me.
Eclipse's groan could barely be heard on Moon's side of the glass.
Moon? Hey, how are you feeling? Like I've woken from a midday nap. It happened again, didn't it? I don't know. You've just been sitting at that table for about 8 hours now. How much of that time has been you sitting there, I don't know. But I need to give someone a call. A certain friend of yours has something to tell you.
Moon called Titan the moment his finger left the speaker button. It was mere minutes after the call ended that Titan arrived at the facility again. Moon made no outward mention of the fact that, to get there so quickly, Titan must have either sprinted or used up some magic to teleport there. Moon returned to the speaker.
Hey, guess who came to see you?
Eclipse tilted his head slightly. Moon gestured for Titan to take his place at the speaker. Titan sighed, bracing himself for either possible response.
Hey, Eclipse.
Eclipse stood instantly and rushed to the glass, as if it would actually bring him closer to his friend.
My friend! How have you been doing? I'm pretty sure I should be asking you that question. Well, I think I may have lost myself again since being placed here. But other than that, I'm alright. Good. So, I decided on a name.
Eclipse leapt onto his toes.
You have? What is it? Titan. That's going to be my name now.
Eclipse gently placed a hand to the glass.
Titan. One of Saturn's moons. Something reminiscent of your past, but all your own. It's perfect.
Even to Moon, the genuine contentment in Titan's voice had been obvious. It was the happiest and most calm Moon had ever heard him. But why? What happened to make Titan actually care about Eclipse and form this bond with him? These were the questions flooding Moon's mind as he watched the two carry on their conversation, seemingly forgetting that Moon was there at all.